Because how about now? Perfect, because I need to first stand up and then do something with the computer. I'm ready.
Good afternoon. Now we will have a presentation, Plone versus Drupal Editing Experience, a biased comparison by Rikupekka Oksanen. A round of applause, please.
All right, thank you. So my name is Rikupekka. I come from Jyväskylä, Finland. That's 11,000 kilometers away from here, but I'm really glad to be here in Brasilia, Brazil. The weather is perfect, the food is good, and the people are really friendly and nice. And today I'm going to talk about a comparison between two content management systems. One of them is Plone and the other is Drupal. And it's a biased comparison because I've been working at the university for over 20 years and I've been using Plone for over 20 years. And that's what I do during my daytime and during my evenings and maybe nights. I also do some Plone marketing stuff, so I do like Plone night and day. And then we have a Drupal CMS at the university. It's been here for maybe a year now, and maybe another 2 years of building it. And I've been using it also. And I was thinking that it would be interesting to talk about the differences between these two enterprise CMSs. But be warned, I am biased. So University of Jyväskylä, there's like 15,000 students, 2,700 staff members, and we have been using Plone for many things, public websites, intranets, customized solutions, video portals, one of which I'm not going to talk about tomorrow, and lots of different customized solutions, and it's been working great. But then the question arises that why Drupal? Well, a couple of years ago, there was two reasons why our university wanted to see how Drupal works. University communications and marketing, they were like, we would like to renew the public website and everybody else is using Drupal, so maybe we should also do that. That's the situation in Finland. We are not in Germany where everybody uses Plone. And the other reason was that our development team has been gathering different kinds of projects and things to do, and the focus from our digital services side was that maybe our expertise should be aimed to something more like challenging than just websites. So those two reasons pushed us towards getting something else. And we also discussed with consultants, and they told us that Drupal is so popular in Finland that you will get many offers and you can select the best one and the cheapest one. But after a round of bids, we got one offer, and that's what we had to select after all. But it was a good company. They built a really nice site. It took like 1.5 years, and University Communications was really invested in the change, and they took the ownership of the public website really, really well. And for myself, I was on the edge at first, and maybe I still am, but I find this an interesting possibility to learn about this new CMS and see how it competes. So tonight I'm comparing 3 different solutions, and this is not a scientific comparison. This is what I want to show you, maybe the best parts and the worst parts of each CMS. But I want to focus on the regular editing tasks. So maybe something fancy, but mostly the basic things that editors do every day, and find the differences and good and bad things from there. And this is a list of things I want to show. I will show you some screenshots, talk you through that, and then hopefully, if the internet allows, I will do a live demo and see how the 3 sites work. So like fixing a typo from a page, then maybe editing text and adding images and videos, modifying translations, checking out the site structure and copy pasting content, doing some listings, and maybe even composite pages. And I think I know what a good usability is for websites, but just in case, I asked ChatGPT what it is, and the answer is that we need to have a user-friendly interface that is easy to learn, even with those who are not familiar with it. And I was not familiar with Drupal, so keep that in mind. And it has to have clear menus and logical organization and accessible tools. And the other important thing would be WYSIWYG editing. So what you see is what you get, and that's what should be important or is important. Okay, but I actually want to ask you a few questions. So if you could raise your hand, how many of you has been using Plone 5 or Plone 6 Classic as editors, editing content? Okay, most of you. Cool. What about Plone 6 with Volto, editing content? Okay, yet again, most of you. Does anyone here have used Drupal editing? Okay, so I can't tell any lies for you because you have used it. And is there some other CMSs that you have used? Okay, few hands rise. Okay, but we won't go there. I will compare 3 solutions. There's Plone Classic, Plone 6 Classic, there's Plone 6 Volto, and there is Drupal. And I will show all of these. So let's start with this. Plone 6 Classic. And this is what you see on a Plone 6 Classic demo site. And for this presentation and demo, I will use Plone 6 Classic demo site, Plone 6 Volto demo site, and then our university production website, because that's the one Drupal site that I have access with. But let's see. And the first look, when a new user comes to the CMS and logs in, what do they see? So here's Plone 6 Classic, and when you log in, this is what you see. So a toolbar on the left, maybe 10 items there where you can select from. You can edit, you can add, you can see that the page is published. Okay, pretty clear. Then there's Volto, login, and you can see like 3 or 4 buttons: edit, content, and add. That's like really clear and simple to my like. And then you go to Drupal site, and then you log in, and you get this. So you don't get to the page you are editing, but you get to some other page. But then you can find the page you want to edit, and then you are in. And there's like 2 menus, one on the left and one on the middle of the page. So maybe 20 clicking options you have there. Okay. What about if we want to do a little edit? What happens? Starting with Plone 6 Classic. Here's a page. Press edit, and you can see this title, description, and visual editor or TinyMCE is there. And then you just change something. Here we have a Volto page. Click edit, and you can see the editing view right there, and maybe change something there. In Drupal, I have a news item here. I click edit, and then I see this. So there's quite many like things in the interface right now. I want to change something in the content text. but I can't do it in this view. This is just a view for the hero elements site. And I need to click the main content tab there, and then I get to see the editor. But if it's a long page with some other elements, I need to scroll down and then see the correct element there, and then click edit and open the sub-element and find the editable section there. So that's some more clicks there. Okay, let's move forward. Links and files. What about this? Plone 6 Classic, Tiny MC editor. Paint the text, click the add link button, and get this insert link window where you can add internal, external links, email links, anchors, and even upload files there. So that's pretty nice there. You have a file that you can link to. Then in Volto, we have a text block here. I select the text, I click the link button, and then I can make an internal or external link. And here is an example of making an internal link to other page of the site. But if I want to add a file there, I need to do it from the left menu. First add the file there and then link it to the page. Okay. Then Drupal, I have this, it's just a link element in the text box where you can add external links. That's something that happens in the text editor. But there are also these link elements that I can add to the page, like somewhat like Volto blocks. And there I can add more links to the page, but they don't get into the middle of the text block. They are at the end of the page or at the middle of the page as a separate section. Then we have attachments. You can add attachments to Drupal, of course, and then you get this pretty nice media library browsing window, and there you can upload or select your files. Okay, I will need to take a breath. I've been talking so fast, but hang on. Wrong drink. Okay, adding a new page. Plone 6 Classic. Left menu, add something, add a page, and then you will get a page. Title, description, and the text editor. Pretty simple. Save it. Plone 6 Volto. Left menu, add something. Content types are there. Add a page. You get an empty page, empty title, description, but of course you can add content to it. And when I get to the actual demo phase, I can show you those fancy blocks that Volto has. I like those really much. But you can quite quickly insert different kinds of content there. And here we even have a nice picture. And save from the left top corner, there are only 2 buttons there. Then in Drupal, you go to the left menu. It's like hover menu where you have to select the add content option, and then you can have the page there. And now I'm adding a page. So I'm again at the hero tab, title, description, lots of kind of metadata, and there's even other like mandatory tab for metadata before I can save the page. So that's one difference to Drupal, that when you like plan the page and plan the site and build the site, you will need to add these pre-made like categories there where you select what is the content category of this page. But anyway, finally we get to the create page option, and then you can just add the content right there. Maybe just one text box or maybe something more. All right. Then something that editors also do quite often, they add images and videos. And here we go with Plone 6 Classic. Go to the TinyMCE, press button, add image from the site itself, or upload an image to the site. And also maybe do some alt tags and other things to the image right there. If you want to add a video player to Plone 6 Classic site, you insert media and then you embed the code there. Quite simple. Here we have Plone 6 Volto, and there's this image block. You can like drag and drop an image here or select it from the site content or use an URL. And here you have your image. And it has pretty nice like layout features itself, the image block, left or right or full screen and link and stuff like that. Same goes for the video block. Add video block, type URL, and you're good to go. In Drupal, you don't add images through the text editor they have there, but it's a separate block also, or separate element that you have. So you add image element, and then you go to the media browser, and then you will find your image eventually. Or you can upload the image from here. That's cool. Video embed in Drupal, it's also quite powerful. I'm not sure if this out-of-the-box feature or if it's customized for us, but you can select the cookie setting for each video separately here, and then embed the code. And then it plays there. Okay, moving on, translations. Those are pretty important for University of Jyväskylä because we usually have both Finnish and English. Swedish is our second language in Finland, but English is more important at the middle of Finland. So translations are important for us. And here in Plone 6 Classic, there's a translation view. You can link translations between pages, add translations or delete them. And that works really nicely. Same goes for Plone 6 Volto. Manage translations, and you can see if there is a translation or not, and then you can add it there. And actually, exactly the same for Drupal. So this is kind of same in each of these. And those all work pretty nicely. Then maybe the thing that took me the most time to get accustomed in Drupal and still is I'm getting there. The whole content structure thing, because I'm used to Plone having this hierarchical structure. You have folders and subfolders and pages and so on. It's kind of clear to navigate as a content editor. Same thing goes for Plone 6 Classic and also Volto. And both these content views are pretty clear to my taste. So you can see when something has been edited and where it sits and what's under that certain folder or page. You can copy paste, you can delete stuff, you can bulk upload things there and so on. Both are quite clear. But in Drupal, it's just one flat structure. So just one big barrel of content. And I'm not sure how it works. It works when the content editors are like good enough to always enter the enough like metadata when they input the page. And in our site, the metadata is mandatory, so they will have to input something. And then you will probably find it from this content view, which is actually, if there's like 1,000 or 5,000 content items and you want to find something, it's pretty fast. So that's what I'm happy about it. But you need to know the title of the page or the creator of the page, and then you can find it from the content view. Or you can, of course, go to the page from the URL and then you are there and can edit it. But this is something that takes time to get used to in Drupal. Okay, a few more things before we get to the live demo section and do all this again. Dynamic listings. Plone 6 Classic and older Plones, we have had this cool content item called content type called collection. You can like search and list everything from the site using collections. Just filter the content types, filter the dates, filter with tags and keywords and anything, and list them as you will with different types of listing views. That has been in much use in our university. And in Volto, I think it's gone even further in the usability sense. You have a listing block and you have a search block, and I've used both, and we use both at the university in different sites. And you can have the search field there, you can select the content types and list them as you will. And then you will also are able to add those facets in there, so users can filter the search results even further. And it doesn't matter if you already have the content or you don't. You can just add the search block and then fine-tune it as you want. In Drupal, you can't probably see those red words, and even I can, but the words say restrictions and based on available things. So in Drupal, you need to predefine the content types that are like searchable. You have to predefine the terms and the categories you can use in these search blocks. So there's the good thing that maybe the site like keeps its integrity better because the content managers can't do everything. But in the other hand, it kind of limits the possibilities of using the listing blocks. Otherwise, it gives pretty nice listings, especially when we have customized it. And maybe the most interesting thing that I'm happy with Volto is the whole dynamic layouts thing. So Plone 6 Classic, I learned that there is, in the latest version, there's actually, when you go to TinyMCE, there's these styles for paragraphs, so you can get these columns, nice pretty columns in the text editor, but it's not quite as sophisticated as we have in Volto, because you have blocks, and you can build anything with those blocks. You want to have 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, and you want to change the order of them. You want to add image there and a listing there and video there, and it's all editable very easily, and I hope to show it soon. Whereas in Drupal, they also have these elements, or we have, I would say, in university's Drupal site. You can add these elements under each other, but it's not conclusion. It's not the same what you see is what you get experience that you have in Volto. You have to kind of guess what is under each section you see there. There are elements, and there are elements under elements and elements under elements, and you have to click each one open to get to the bottom element you want to edit. Okay, but now I think I still have some time, so I will go and show you this same thing. Maybe not all, but here I have these test sites. I hope no one is because these are public sites, these demo sites, so you could, if you wish, to mess with me right now, but I can just edit here a demo page. So a page, and I want to edit Plone 6 Classic, let's say Vimamus Leo Brasilia, and yeah. Oh, it didn't. How about now? Thank you. So Plone 6 Classic, Vivamus Leo Brasilia. I just edited it, believe me. Then we go to the Volto page. Here's test page. I edit it. Maybe go. Oh, it already says Brasilia. Probably you can't see this because it's so small. But let's put here. Let's say Plone and make it bold. Okay, now we have Plone in there, and that's editing a Volto page. Then I have this Drupal news item. It's pretty long. I want to change something in the versatile permission management. Let's see. So I go to edit. I make it a little bit bigger because you probably can't see. And then I have the hero element here. I go to main content. Then I go to versatile permission management is a block here. I go there. And versatile permission, let's say Plone permission management, and then save this translation on the top menu. And this is not a public page. That's another difference between Plone and Drupal is that if you go to a Plone site, you can see that this page is published. It's shown. And in Volto also the little color on the left shows if it's public or not. But in Drupal, it doesn't tell you if it's public or not, unless you go to the editing view. Okay, but we did it. Let's go to add some, I don't know, maybe image. Insert image. Use an image from the demo site. That's there, and insert. If it loads it from there, here we go. And here we have a nice, pretty image. Then I go to Volto site. I go to editing. I press enter to insert a new block. I really like this, like you can use your hands to find the correct block. Other way around would be to use this tool here. But maybe one image block is enough. I select image from the site. Let's take that one. And yeah, there we have an image. Okay, cool. Then in Drupal, edit the page. Go to the main content. Then go to elements, add image. Then I select some add media. And then I select our president, Alexander Stubb, who is coming to our university. That's pretty cool. Next week. And then I save this translation. And here we have an image. And you can't change the aspects or anything of that because it's kind of rigid to our layout and theme here. Okay, what would be interesting next? Let me see. I still have maybe, 10 minutes? Cool. So 6 minutes. Okay, that's fair enough. So let's go straight to the deep end. I want to show the Volto block layout thing, which is really cool. So I add a grid block, 3 columns, then I add grid block, 2 columns. And if you have seen Timo's presentations, you already know how this works, but maybe I select image there. And there I want to add a teaser. Select existing content from the site. Let's say news item. No, that's not so cool. Pages looks better. And another teaser. And then maybe another news item or event. Another news item. Okay, now we have a penguin. And maybe we add some text box here. Let's copy some lorem ipsum here. And make it shorter. Okay. And one more, then I'm done. And then save it. And maybe one thing that I really like with Volto is that how ridiculously fast it is. So I go here and I press this block and then I delete it. And I'm like, oh no, it's gone. But now there's an undo button, so now it's back. And then I maybe save the page and edit the page. And even though the servers are like far away, I guess it's still really, really fast. You can change the order of these blocks as you like. You can do whatever. Now the image is there. Maybe make the image bigger, even bigger. Save the page. And there it goes. So these kind of things are really fast to do here. When I go to Drupal, I have the composite page here. I always have to press edit, then always need to go to the main content and then need to find the proper block which to edit. Let's go there and maybe edit something from here. And maybe I show, just remember, I cannot save this page because this is University Digital Services main site, but let me show this. This page has a lot of like these composite elements. So we have grids, we have links, we have news listing and some other stuff there. But I quickly show how this editing would go. I would like to edit, let's say, maintenance downtime on Wednesdays. Okay, edit. Main content, and then I have to like know which section where the maintenance window is. I guess it's this one. There's news listing. No, it wasn't this one. So maybe it's this section 1. There are more columns, so I get deeper. And there's we help. There's, well, it wasn't here, but I don't have enough time to edit this Drupal page, so I get back. And maybe then I will get back to my presentation and give you the conclusions and see how this goes. So, what is a good CMS usability based on ChatGPT? Intuitive interface, easy to use, clear menus and so on, and WYSIWYG editor. In Flow 6 Classic, I feel that we have those things. It's clear, it's easy to use, and it's a WYSIWYG editor. And I don't know why I threw the flexible permissions, but now I remember, because in Drupal you have to give permissions to each content type to everybody or just admins. But in Plone you can do whatever with the permissions. But anyway, and Plone 6 Volto, it's extremely fast in addition to those two, and it has these dynamic layouts. And Drupal, in my opinion, it's quite easy to use. Our users are trained to use it, and it's there. But I don't think it has so clear menus, and it doesn't have a WYSIWYG editor. It has a preview function, but not a WYSIWYG editor. It has a nice media library, and it works really robustly, so that's really good. But I leave you to it. I leave you think of what the winner of this comparison between Plone and Drupal is. So thank you.
Thank you, Rikupekka. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Rikupekka. Very interesting. If you were to put the three CMSs in relation to each other, the closer you bring them to each other, the more they are like each other. The further apart you put them, the less they are like each other. How would you arrange those three spatially?
Yeah, I love Plone to my heart. And I've been using Plone since Plone 2.5 or something like that. And today when you showed the old screenshot, I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. And it was beautiful. And Plone 5 is beautiful and it's easy to use. And when I saw Volto, I was kind of like, is this good? But it's so ridiculously fast and it's so ridiculously easy to change something in the page. So as an editor, I really, really like it. Yeah. So take the answer from there, maybe.
What I'm trying to get at, when we work with, say, example wine, and you've got three wines, there's a French technique that you put them on a serviette, and you put them in relation to each other. The closer together the wines are more similar, the further apart they are less similar. So would you put Drupal here, and you would put Plone 6 Classic here, and you put Plone 6 Volto there? Or where would Drupal be in relation?
Yeah, maybe these two are closer and Drupal is somewhere farther away.
What? Okay, maybe I must rephrase it. How many more times do you swear with which version, with which type of CMS? How many more swear words do you use when you use it?
Let's say, okay, what's the, like, if there's 0 swear words using one CMS and then there's like 70 using the other, is it like 70? Can you compare to 0? I don't know. Yeah, I don't swear that much. Any other questions?
So, yeah, question is, it's clear that they gave up on WYSIWYG, going from Plones, what you see is what you get in Classic, to what you showed us today, which is clearly not WYSIWYG, and the editor is completely different, as they used to do. It's quite often happens in CMSs, right? That you have the editor, the authoring part, and it has anything to do with the public part. And I'm not asking this to you, but do this specific nuance, let's say, mattered to the decision makers when they said, no, let's go to Drupal, or they didn't care at all? It was something that was on the table, but they said, yeah, okay, let's
we
assume
actually,
it.
Yeah, we had the consultants and we had the vision of what kind of public website we want. And technically, it was like the consultants said that you can have Drupal and you can have Plone, and both can fill the vision that you want. So, but it was a like managerial decision, I think, to move to the other side. Yeah.
Because I can imagine that the editors kind of complained, or they say, no, but this is clearly different and not, than what we had before, right? And
yeah. All right. Still. No?
I have two questions, brief ones. How many editors do you have, and how long did it take the editors to get trained to Drupal?
Okay, so when we had the public websites, university main website, and then the faculties and separate institutes, which some of them are still in Plone, we had hundreds of editors. But I think in this renewal, it was condensed to like the certain main editors in the departments. So it's a smaller crowd, and they each received maybe day or two training from the university communications. Also, each like person can edit their own page. Well, not in Drupal, but it's integrated there. And then there's the research groups which have their own like selection of features there. They can update their research group page, and they also got some training. So everybody can have training and instructions.
So would you say that a few days of trainings are enough to work with Drupal?
The trainings are enough, but I think they are needed.
They're what?
Needed.
Yeah.
But they are enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to have weeks of training, but some training.
But by looking at the user interface, I would have expected far more than a few days of trainings, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions? Then thank you. A round of applause, please. Just to remind you all, we will have lightning talks, probably in the Jan Ferry classroom, auditorium. So if you can, please be present. Thank you.